as I remember it, we met in Carlton at the Veterans Day breakfast at the American Legion Hall. I have no idea why you approached me. You approached me saying something about taking my picture, which seemed to be a questionable thing to ask. So we went on to talk, and I told you that I was the senior retiring stagecoach driver in Yamhill County with a pilot's license, which set me apart from some of my fellow veterans at the function. How she selected me out of this, you'll have to ask the coaches over at the Yamhill County Museum out in McMinnville. To buy one, the good coaches cost around $80,000. I don't have $80,000, so yeah, I had to make it. I actually had the wood cut, the trees cut, then the trees made into lumber, and in it, because that lumber's not readily available in that size, so we end up cutting our own.
How long did it take you to make that?
6.5 years. You don't generally buy anything for it, you have to make everything. You don't go to the stagecoach store and pick up a couple of pieces for the stage. So that's why it takes so long.
And then how many mules do you hook up to it?
We hook 4 or 6, generally 4, 6 on occasion. That's, yeah, 6 on occasion, not too often, but we've had 6 hooked to it. We have pictures of that, a very nice picture out in the tack room. You'll see that it's about like this, of 6 hooked to it. So.
And how many shows did you go to? What shows did you go to show off the stagecoach and mule?
Very relative, like a few, like I say, it made that trip up in Washington, you know. I had it over in John Day we drove it from Portland to Salem on old Highway 99, which was the stage route back in the 1800s. Yeah, we had it over on John Day, the painted hills and in that area, and then 3 or 4 times through the Pendleton Parade. Again, with sometimes some of my friends pulled it part of the time. I didn't pull it all the way all the time, but a team goes about goes about something around 10 miles a day, and so if you want to go 30 miles, you need three hitches, and so that's how we went up into Washington. We had three separate hitches or 3 hitches.
So showing off the stagecoach and the mule team, what inspired you to do that? How do you educate the public?
Well, I don't know. I haven't. See, there's this funny thing. Something has really happened here historically that I think is rather sad and incorrect. Wells Fargo is known for stagecoaches. They had the logo was all over every one of their banks. For reasons that I don't know about, I know pieces and parts of, they have discontinued their logo that they've had since anybody around remembers. They no longer have stagecoaches on the road. They no longer have the logo on their bank. And so they were stagecoaches. They owned the name. In fact, they own the name of, well, Wells Fargo, of course, owns that, but they pretty much own. So you don't have your stagecoach and put Wells Fargo on it. That's just, no. My coach is a C&O, that's California and Oregon replica of the coaches that ran from Sacramento to Portland from the I guess it was the late 60s to the early 80s. The stagecoaches ran until the railroad finally squeezed them off down on the Oregon-California border. And that was the last of the stagecoaches. Well documented in the book by Gary, and I forget his wife's name, Myers, who wrote Knights of the Whip, which chronicles that whole route. We've since followed it in the thought of trying to reenact some of it, but it's impossible. I-5 is just drove all through the middle of it. You can't go anywhere on it now, but we've gone down and looked at, there are several existing stage stops still down there. We've had the opportunity to stop at, I think, the ones we know for sure about. But that's about it as far as reenacting this. The highways are not set up for this. The people are not set up for, we do 7, 8, average 7, 8 miles an hour, and that's disruptive on the highways. So a stagecoach is of questionable value.
Now you do the 4-H run.
That's another issue. That's a wagon train. That started, I believe, in 1982 in Hillsborough, Wichita County, by a group of folks that thought that would be a good idea. It turned out to be an excellent idea, and it's still going today. I believe I'm sure they took a COVID year off, as everybody else did. I did about 20 years of that, just pulling a covered wagon with the mules.
The kids loved it.
Yes, it's a hard thing. We've had trouble with the coach getting, the wagon train. We've had trouble with that because you can't seem to get it out to a very good way getting it to the people. Like I say, it's been going on, that's 30 years, is that, or 40 years? 82 to, that's 40 years. Been going on 40 years, and amazing how many people don't know about it. So that's been a hard time. It's thinned out now. There's not as many people going now as it used to. Also, there's not as many horses that are able to do this as when I started. So this is the difficult factor. There just aren't that many teams out there to pull covered wagons anymore. Saddle horses are readily available, but harness horses are not readily available, with the exception of some of the big draft horses. And so that's why the wagon train is, but it is still going. Primarily mules pulling wagons now. For it's 105 years old, we believe 105 years old.
The year was 1917.
Is marked on a piece. We have no reason to believe it's not all the same. I bought it all together in one pile, you know what I mean? Now, the other cavalry harness, anything you see that has brass buckles on it, you'll notice that is all steel. That's why you know it's original. All of that other stuff over there that you see that has brass buckles on it, same vintage, but I had to replace all of that. And I replaced that with brass buckles just because I like the look of it. But that is original harness, and there's one pair over here that's partly original also. We've built the bridles over the years. They wear out first because there's a great deal of use of a bridle. I don't know, it's just hard on them to be used, and so we've had to replace all of the bridles. We have no original bridles. And we're able to hook, oh my gracious, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, we got enough harness for everybody standing out there. We can, and 2 for some of them. Linda likes to believe that they should have their play harness and their Sunday go meeting harness. So that's why there's. But nobody does this kind of work anymore. The building of harness is passed on because there's not much call for it. And it's always been known My father used to tell me that the harness maker's children had no shoes. Very poor business to get into. We try to keep this room warm because if it gets damp, the harness, because the moisture and whatnot, will cause it to mold and of course deteriorate. And we feel we got just a little more harness than we can afford to deteriorate. The replacement would be very difficult. Yeah, we have that's a complete set of pack gear. We can pack at least 4 animals, and I have done that, of course.
And you have a cavalry saddle?
Cavalry saddle, yes. Cavalry saddles, I was just talking to cavalry saddles I remember when I was a kid in Popular Mechanics magazine, they sold for $16 and change. Cavalry saddles in the 50s that I personally remember. So having one of them, they were thousands and thousands of them, so they are not of great value. Those are the later World War I saddles, because I think we had cavalry units right up into the 50s. One very small unit in Colorado. But yes, I'm required to maintain this stuff myself.
So then you ask, is there anyone who wants to help maintain this?
Yeah, well, that's what Ellen, who was just here, spent an awful lot of time. These 2 harnesses here were just really in terrible shape. And it's remarkable considering the stuff is at least 105 years old. It's in as good a shape, in my opinion, in usable shape today. And there was no evidence that it had been well cared for other than the condition it's in now. It was just absolutely filthy. So I think it must have been oiled up and then just got dusty, and then the dust apparently protected the leather. We couldn't figure that out, but it was the nastiest, filthy harness I've ever seen. That is available to somebody that thinks they need that. I would let that harness slip through my fingers. It's a little larger than any animal we have also. Coach and the hitch up there on the wall. Yeah, that was the first time the coach went out after it was built. That was in the, I think the name of it, parade in Vernonia, Oregon, and I believe in 2006, I believe that is. There's 5 mules and a horse there. The 5 mules we still have the horse. Running water, a wood stove. Yeah, it's we enjoy this tack room. We consider it one of our better facilities on the place.
Is this a lifetime collection?
Pretty much.
And then you use it on your mules.
Yes.
So very functional.
Yeah, we went to a fair amount of effort on this room. This didn't start out this way. It was designed specially for this. The bathroom was painted pink too, by the way.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check out the bathroom, being female and all.
Yes, I think you probably should.
Oh, nice.
You can turn that light on up there, that would be.
It even has handles.
Tiffany lamp in the bathroom.
Oh. Oh, sweet. Oh, now that is fancy.
So am I catering to my ladies or what?
Yep.
Thank you. Yes, I hope you appreciate that.
Extra toilet paper too.
Yeah.
Hey, that's important now to
No,
the
it is.
ladies.
No, I wasn't kidding. No, I know better. I've run with them long enough to know the deal. Oh, isn't that cute? There's an incredibly cute dog, see? You should have brought your dog.
Next time.
Yeah, the boys would like to see a little girl dog. We have one more thing, one more favorite of the mine. '74 Freightliner with a big cam 350 and a 13 speed. Go photograph the rear tires. Right there, no tires. Those are all brand new. Go on to the back. The ramp lets down, that's how the animals get in there, and if you look up way up high, there's a backup camera up there.
You fit the whole team in there?
Oh, we can put 6 in there. The original, there are two, that's a copy. That's a print. There are 2 prints. The original painting supposedly hangs on a bar in Balfour, South Dakota. I can't confirm that, but I was told that. What do you have, a horse, a mule, and a donkey?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 species, 2 species and a hybrid of that.
Commands to turn and stop and everything else so that they could walk up to a camera together while harnessed together and pulling a plow.